Hey, what's the crack? A very chilled garden update today. So first of all, we see what's growing on in the greenhouse. Got sunflowers and tomatoes. I'm sorely lacking trays, so I have things sitting in these, or chilies, because my first video was overwintering these guys and they've passed away seemingly. So thankfully I've got more on the windowsill and more out here. But lots of different sunflowers. I've even got one with a broken stem. I think it's broken under its own weight. It might be okay. There's got little puzzles here too. And more tomatoes, a mix of Moneymaker and there's some small yellow one. I don't know what it's called. And there's more in on the windowsill. I ordered them from Amazon this year. It's the first time I've ever ordered any seeds from Amazon or any seeds online. And needless to say, I was dissatisfied. One of the two deliveries just didn't show up. I got lost, and the other one's the germination rate wasn't great, but we'll look at that in a minute. There's some mustards, some lettuce, some more lettuce, and some spring onions, or scallions at this rate. By the time they're ready, it'll be summer. Some of those are for staying here in these, and some of them are for planting out wherever there's space. I'm not sure. Yeah, more scallions, some turnips, and some not turnips, and just some annual flower mix, again just for popping in to any spare gaps that might arise. I need to get working on this thing. I talked about this in the last video. Last year I had a bunch of sunflowers that got completely soaked, and I thought the seeds weren't going to be viable, but as it turned out they were viable, and they remained viable despite going through the composting process. And now they're popping up everywhere. So much so that even ones that I'm like taking out and transplanting into other pots, like this one, even they have their own volunteers going up in that compost. So there's a couple of well-battered lavenders. I've been just trying to keep them alive throughout the winter, and as you can see, there's a nice bit of new growth on them. I've been trying to pinch them out, but they really need to be moved into their own separate pots, and then maybe further on somewhere into the garden. More basils. This is a parsley plant that didn't have a pot. It was in a supermarket, just in the the plastic bags that they have. It was like 30 cents. So I brought it home and cut it back, and I've had a visitor. It's been a slug or a snail. Snail probably based on. Where is it? There. Okay, so there's the spuds from the previous video. There's parsley in there and garlic chives in there. That says cabbage, but that's all lies. That's clearly not a cabbage. That's a tomato. More tomatoes in there. They're a tamande, I believe, like an heirloom variety, but a slightly better one apparently. And an F1, more sunflowers. They're a mix between St. Vincent's Mix and Royale Rouge, I believe is the name of the other one, something like that. Moneymaker tomatoes, more tomato seedlings. There's basil in there, more and more sunflowers. Companion planting at its finest. Scallions with a stone and a knife. Yes. And over here on this now, it's supposed to be carrots, but they're not carrots. That's fumitory or something like that. And there's probably a few popping up in the rows as well. There's only 3 rows there. And look. Surprise, surprise, sunflower. It's ridiculous. Look at this thing. They want to grow anyway, there's no trouble growing. Spuds from previous videos, just chilling here waiting for whatever they're waiting for. What are you waiting for, lads? Bus? Anyway, that's some sort of Japanese spinach of some sort. That's some sort of weed, a fumitory again, I believe. More carrots in there. Over here I've got some leeks, which are coming up slowly but surely. And look, see, that's the problem with that feckin' stuff. Ends up everywhere. We'll be eating it next, along with all the other plastics and bits and bobs. But anyway, leeks, and we have marigolds, and some more marigolds. They were taking their sweet time, but they're finally doing something. And then those ones at the back are anyway. I divided this sweet marjoram. There's one here and there's one hanging on the fence outside, which I'll show you. The gate marjoram next to 2 mints that I divided into 4 from 1. There's the yellow tub. There's some osteosperm that I need to put out in the front and replace another one that's not struggling. It's just I got it back too late. So there's garlic from a past. There's a curly kale. It's second year down the flower, but there's plenty eating on that, including the flower buds. Just eat them like broccoli. I think quite a underrated treat. Kale in flower. It's Cavallo Nero. It's actually black magic specifically, but it's basically Cavallo Nero, a little smaller version. Doesn't look all that small. It's hanging over due to that. There's another curly kale in flower buds, which I'll be harvesting today to stir fry with some broccoli. The last of it indeed. But a lot can be harvested right down. I mean, you can keep cutting it back and it'll keep growing, but you kind of get sick of it after a while. I've got some frozen in my freezer from last year. There's a chard in the second year, and mustard there in the second year as well, all of which I'll be harvesting later. Parsley in the second year. There's another one down by the door there that I was hoping would go to seed, and it was nearly there, and then it just started raining after like a week or so. I was like, oh, it's looking good. Speaking of looking good, this isn't looking good. This is chocolate mint. It's really nice for tea, but it needs to be cut back harder than that. Another Suburban. This one is unlike the other ones. I can't remember the exact name of it, but I think it's supposed to be kind of more blue. But based on that, it's looking more yellow at the moment. But we wait and see. What do you think? He's shy. Pansies, there's giant Swiss ones, I believe, the same as those ones in the beginning of the video there. There's a fennel that's been battered by aphids, and it's been very difficult to get them off. The sprays are a little bit too strong, and they're normally attacking those newer leaves, so I've been coming out gently squishing them, and look, there's some there, little feckers. And there's been ants here the past few years as well, so that's probably not helping matters. There's a little sort of protection racket that the ants have with David. See the little shit bags. Anyway, we'll squish them to death. Die. And I'll come back later and bake them all. There's sage. It should have been cut back probably. It's getting a bit out of hand, but it's going into flower. That's the one in the front as well. There's rocket and chives and more kale in its second year. Chard in its second year, looking really vibrant and about to go to flower. Over here, I've got some growth here of it must be rocket. What do you think? Is it rocket? Well, I'm asking you for it. I saw it, didn't I? Yeah. There's some transplanted beetroot. I don't know how well, otherwise there's some peas in there, would you believe? Oh, you can believe it now. There's some peeking out. And speaking of peeking out, we've got carrots in there as well. That's either rocket or radish, right? What else could it be? I suppose I still have peas here somewhere. There's one there going up. It's also some sort of mustard or a rocket or something. That is a weed, maybe, and that is a woodlouse or a roly-poly or whatever you're having yourself. How are you, everybody? Don't nibble in my peas or I'll rage you. Look at that there. What's that? Some sort of radish again, maybe. Oh, it's a bit weedy in here. Trying to figure out the weeds from the. Well, that's not weeds. That's rocket. And they're peas. But a bit of weed needs to be done clearly. But they're managed too, specifically. There should be more peas popping up here. Indeed, there is. There. More densely sown than what it looks like. 1, 2, and they're zigzagged sort of along every 3 or 4 inches, all the way along. There. They're sweet-wheeling, they're struggling along, but they're getting there. They're in their 3rd year now, so they're grown from seed, and they only flower in their 2nd year, so last year was when they finally flowered. And they're continuing on. Maybe they need cutting back. They probably need removing them from in these thingies. I've refreshed the compost on the top, but down below, no, is that a weed? It looks like, no, it's not. They just keep on coming back. More strawberries there. This is a rhubarb that I removed from the front and put here. I was really struggling. The roots got stuck in the wood in the front and all sorts. That looks like something, right? Anyway, it seems to be doing okay now. A lot of weeds going on around here, and some of them are like just volunteers, I guess. So like more stuff. Guess what? More sunflower. But beneath them, ooh, it's warm in here. There's summer cabbages, and they're looking alright. But they're getting a bit battered, and there's some weeds coming up as well. That one's looking a bit thirsty. This booger here. There's a couple more in there. There's a weed, and there's also some Cavallo Nero for this year. And I'll sell more of that. There's no matter of Chantal. And there's another strawberry plant under here. Looking nice and healthy, but a bit small. I've been picking off some of the early flowers, so to give it a bit, allow it to grow a bit more and maybe produce more flowers and therefore fruit. And hopefully osteospermum, the parsley that I mentioned before that I was hoping to go to seed, nearly made it before it started getting lashed on with the rain. Very old time, and that needs to be cut back around the sides there because it grows generally from the centre. So anyway, show you what's going on the windowsill actually. So inside I've got a couple of cucumbers chilling at the back there. I've got some courgettes. They are either Zephyr or Limona. I do have labels on them, believe it or not, but I will eventually confuse them and they'll probably cross-pollinate or something. Some way I'll be confused. Another cucumber at the back. I'll put the name up of the cucumber, I can't remember what it is. More chilies, these ones looking a bit better than the ones outside. Naturally they're on the windowsill. Tomato there. It's tamande again. There's a lot of them in here. They're all tamande. Courgette, cucumbers, yeah, just all those bugs. That's another one, and that's another chili I didn't have space for. And on the other side, there's Cosmos there. Gazebo, I think maybe some of them are, I can't remember exactly. There's a few different ones. They're not faring the best. They'll need to be transplanted into something bigger, but I was hoping they could get bigger in these trays, but a lot of them haven't germinated anyway. So, but there's more than germinated for me last year initially. So that's an improvement. Little pink pot for a moneymaker, I believe. Tomato. There's some of these crappy Amazon ones that didn't germinate and whatever. So there's some coriander there, and some purple basil. And one of the purple basil, as usual, isn't purple. These are some of the Amazon ordered Determina and dwarf fine tomatoes, if you get me. As you see, they're struggling a little bit, but they might be okay. Just some basils that I pot up separately. Another one of those tomatoes, and then a bunch more down the bottom. And in there's some scallions and chrysanthemums between those two strawberry plants. There's a lemon balm that's from the lemon balm video. There's leeks there as well from last year. I'm going to get through a good old heap of them today. There's chard sowed in there, and there's chard sowed way at the back there as well, I forgot to mention. And there's the garlic and all, but I've touched upon that. And then there's the stuff out the front, we'll have a quick gander. So out the front, there's the osteospermum that I was trying to cut back for so long and then finally did too late. And there's the original lemon balm that I divided back to that spot and grown vigorously. And there's a bunch of poo over there because all those sticks and stuff did not stop the cats from pooing all over the place. That's where the rhubarb was. The cats pooed all over. Thanks guys. And so I removed it out of there, put it in the other side as you saw, and I put some onions in there. Another strawberry plant, struggling away there. It's actually out doing okay, but netted up and there's sticks and twigs trying to protect it. There's fennel here which is getting battered. And these guys are really big fans of the fennel. I now dub the fennel snail. Guys, surprise, surprise. Time that I want to divide, you can see it's basically asking for, there's like one plant here and one plant there, there's like 6 plants there, but at least 2 big chunks, and put that out the back where one has failed. Lemon balm, doing okay, looking a bit yellow, but that's not surprising because I had to replace this stuff because someone's shoddy workmanship beforehand. Mine. I wonder what that is. What is that, guys? Yeah, more sage, that probably should have been cut back. It's trying to get the flower. I ate a bunch of it last night, and as you can see, it was here too. Very unevenly cut, excuse me. I'm in my own light now, but that's the last of the broccoli pretty much in the front. I've taken only tiny little, I can't see bleeding thing here. Take tiny little ones off. Over here, there should be that Japanese spinach struggling and being eaten by snails. Kamatsuma, something like that, I believe. And then over there, there's some chard or something, radish in there, garlic from a previous garlic video, kale that I left, and there's some onion sets in there, and there's leeks and garlic from last year. That's what's going on there. That is what is happening. That's the little vertical update completed. As you see, I'm a bit behind with things, but it could be worse, it could be better, but it could be worse, so we're alright. Anyway, thanks for watching, take care, Salon.